On May 2nd, 2018, the police got a call about a vicious dog that appeared to be a pit bull running loose around the neighborhood. As the agent arrived at the scene, he was prepared to defend himself and the other people against this ferocious animal. However, the story actually unfolded with the police officer claiming that the most harmful event that took place was being licked to death by the pit bull. This story represents a typical case of unfair, biased opinions on pit bull breeds. I'm here today to persuade each of you listening to be open-minded on how loving, sweet, and well-mannered pit bulls can truly be. Whenever most people are asked if they consider their pet family, the answer is usually always yes. So when picturing someone's family member being unfairly judged and in some cases being asked to leave certain areas, you can imagine the sadness for those who love the pet feel, regardless of what the breed is. This scenario really hits close to home with me, and I'm very passionate about it because this is currently happening with my dog Jax, who happens to be a pit bull, as you can see right here. I have seen firsthand, knowing how loved, well-mannered, and well-trained my dog is, that it's not fair for anyone to ask us to get rid of him and leave our neighborhood just because of his breed. Many people see the media-biased stories and automatically believe it without even knowing the whole story, which results in the fear of pit bulls. Once again, I'm here to persuade you all to have an open mind towards pit bulls and realize that they are truly sweet and loving dogs if they're raised well, and they do not deserve the bad rap that's against them. So what is a pit bull and why do they have this bad rap? A pit bull is a category of multiple dogs which have been used for different types of work and therefore have certain laws and reputations against them. According to an article by Mutt's Matter Rescue, the term pit bull doesn't describe a single breed of dog. It's a generic term used to define multiple breeds of working dogs that were initially bred by crossing bulldogs with terriers. An article by Hoffman in the U.S. National Library of Medicine stated that the main breeds under this include the American Pit Bull Terrier, the American Staffordshire Terrier, which is what my dog Jax is, and the Staffordshire Bull Terrier. These pit bull dogs were initially used for herding and working, and due to their loyalty and good temperament, they used to have the nickname nanny dogs. They were given the trust to watch over the children and protect them while their parents worked. Pit bulls were originally known as America's sweetheart breed. The reversal of this reputation came about when people started buying these dogs to fight. According to Mutt's Matter Rescue, they are beaten, electrocuted, chained, starved, and even fed gunpowder to make them more tough and mean. It's no wonder that these dogs with such terrible treatment result in an unfriendly manner. If you were treated with such awful treatment, would you not be aggressive by nature? Although dogfighting is illegal in all 50 states now, people who participate in the act underground still raise these dogs and feed into that terrible, menacing reputation. Due to the enforced behavior on certain pit bulls, a law called breed-specific legislation came to place. According to an article by Michigan State University, the breed-specific legislation focuses on breeds considered dangerous. The BSL focuses on a few breeds such as pit bulls, Rottweilers, and chows. Many people argue that the legislation is not effective because banning a breed that is known for being vicious punishes those dog owners who raise well-mannered dogs. According to the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, in 2013, former President Obama stated, "We don't support breed-specific legislation research because it shows that bans on certain types of dogs are largely ineffective and often a waste of public resources." After seeing how pit bulls have gotten the aggressive reputation from how they were raised, let's see how the media shows biased stories to the public. Many stories that people read in the newspapers, magazines, or even see on TV are so heavily skewed in the favor of making pit bulls look mean. What they don't show you is the true backstory. A story surfaced the internet on Fox News by Park on February 23rd with the headline, "Autopsy Confirms Virginia Woman 22 Mauled to Death by Her Own Pit Bulls." The article stated that Bethany Stevens was gruesomely mauled to death by her dogs with wounds of defense on her arms. The first quarter of the article graphically discusses the event and how it happened and made the dogs seem like they suddenly just turned on their owner for no reason. However, eventually, in the last paragraph of the article, it states that the dogs were severely neglected by Bethany and they were previously indoor dogs who were just moved outside and left in the cold for long periods of time. It also stated that one of the pit bulls was rescued from an abusive home. Another story about a 3-year-old who got bitten by the family dog showed up in the media. The media did not clearly state how the pit bull was a rescue dog, which could exemplify a bad past, how the family did not know the dog's history as a family dog, but the media made it sound like their family dog of years just happened to randomly turn on the young boy. There are 2 or more many stories that selectively enhance certain parts of stories in order to make the pit bull breed sound aggressive. It is never a good idea to get a dog who has had a history of abuse and aggression because that is all they have ever known. Brittany Stevens' dog, who used to be abused, came into a different household and got to know the owner, and then was abandoned by that same owner and left outside in the cold, which was just not a good situation for any breed of dog. As previously stated, pit bulls that have been beaten, abused, abandoned, or anything like that, like any other dog, adopt an aggressive and standoffish behavior. I believe a great area to focus on to fix the stigma on pit bulls is looking deeper into the stories that you hear about them. I have done this, and I urge everyone listening to look further into the stories that the media try to tell. In any of these stories mentioned before, any dog with aggression could have committed these attacks. In fact, millions of bites occur every day, and many breeds with powerful bites than pit bulls are not mentioned as much. The main problem with this issue is how the dog, in the case of the pit bull, is raised. Going back to the statement by former President Obama, dogs of any breed can become dangerous when they're intentionally or unintentionally raised to be aggressive. If a dog is raised to be aggressive, it will show aggressive behavior. In addition, an article by The New Yorker by Gladwell stated that a group called the American Temperament Test Society put 25,000 dogs through a drill. The drill assesses the dog's stability, shyness, aggressiveness, and friendliness in the company of people. After the test was completed, 84% of pit bulls pass, which, according to the article, ranks pit bulls ahead of beagles, collies, and most of everything, including dachshunds. According to the president of the ATTS, Carl Heckerser, he has only had to disqualify 1 pit bull because of aggressive behavior out of 1,000. In addition to this test showing how pit bulls rank above normal house dogs, in disposition tests, statistics show that different popular dogs are not labeled as aggressive dogs, which have stronger bites than pit bulls have. An article by the Canine Journal tested the top 12 dogs with the strongest bite in terms of PSI, pound force per square inch. The top 5 strongest bites are from Kangals, English Mastiffs, Wolf Dogs, Rottweilers, and American Wild Dogs. Other dogs like the American Bulldog, Doberman, German Shepherd are also above the Pit Bull. The American Pit Bull is ranked number 9 out of 12 with a PSI of 235. These bite statistics show how powerful so many dogs who are considered normal family pets can actually cause more damage than a pit bull in terms of biting. After seeing how impactful the different backgrounds of pit bulls can truly be and how the media doesn't always give the full story, I would encourage everyone to think differently about pit bulls. If you're believing everything you hear about these dogs, you negate the fact that most of the aggressive ones have been through abusive homes, tied to chains, and neglected from their owners. While some pit bulls have bad histories, there are also thousands of other pit bulls who have been raised well and are loving, but they all get put in the same category. If you are someone who disregards all pit bulls because of the stories you hear of events that takes place, I would encourage you to change your view about pit bulls and realize that a pit bull can be raised right and can be genuinely a loving and sweet pet. In addition, if you are looking for a pet, I strongly consider urging you to buy a pit bull for yourself, because if you take them in as a puppy or they are adopted with a well-known history, these dogs are amazing pets. I know from personal knowledge how loving, sweet, and playful pit bulls are, and I would strongly recommend these dogs to anyone. And here's Jax. Thank you.